24 markers live across C6, C7, and C8. This is where ACC and PCC look most different. Listens actively expands from 3 ACC statements to 7 PCC markers. Evokes awareness expands from 3 to 8. Facilitates client growth expands from 3 to 9. The expansion is not new behavior. It is finer grained articulation of what competent coaching looks like in real time. 4 of the 11 coaching mindset proxy markers live in this territory: 6.1, 6.5, 7.1, and 7.5. The through-line rule applies. Consistently demonstrated means a pattern across the session, not a peak moment. The slides show the literal marker wording. The narration walks you through what those words ask the coach to do and what you are listening for as a mentor coach. Competency 6, listens actively. 7 markers. The 2 coaching mindset proxies, 6.1 and 6.5, sit at the bookends. Marker 6.1 asks whether the coach's questions and observations are customized using what they have learned about who the client is or the client situation. Generic questioning fails. 6.1. The verb customized is the test. Is this question shaped by what the coach has learned about this specific client, or could it be asked of any client about any topic? Markers 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4 are the listening channels. The words the client uses, the emotions, the energy shifts, and nonverbal cues. Each is its own marker. A coach can hit 6.2 and miss 6.3, inquiring about words but never about emotion. A coach can hit 6.3 and miss 6.4, tracking emotion but ignoring an energy shift. You tag them separately. Marker 6.5 is the deepest listening marker. The coach inquires about how the client currently perceives themselves or their world. This is identity level listening, not situation level. It connects directly to C5's who marker. Markers 6.6 and 6.7 are the partnership of airtime markers. 6.6, allowing the client to complete speaking unless there is a stated coaching purpose to interrupt. 6.7, succinct reflection or summary. A coach who interrupts to redirect or who reflects back so much that the reflection becomes the conversation fails these. The word succinctly is the test. What you are listening for. Does the coach integrate what they hear into where the conversation goes next? Accurate listening that does not feed forward is not yet PCC level. Competency 7 evokes awareness. 8 markers split across 2 slides because this is the largest C7 expansion in the framework. Marker 7.1 is a coaching mindset proxy. The coach asks questions about the client, their thinking, feeling, values, needs, wants, beliefs, or behavior. Questions about the situation alone fail 7.1. The list ICF gives is wide. Asking about thinking is in scope. Asking about values is in scope. Asking about how the client habitually behaves is in scope. Markers 7.2 and 7.3 are the who and what pair from C5, returning here at the question level. 7.2 asks the client to expand their thinking or feeling about themselves, the who. 7.3 asks the client to expand their thinking or feeling about their situation, the what. Both must be present. The verb is asked questions to help the client explore beyond. The coach is not delivering insight. They are creating space for the client to discover. Marker 7.4 asks the client to explore beyond current thinking, feeling, or behaving toward the outcome the client desires. This is the future tilt question. The phrase toward the outcome is what makes 7.4 distinct from 7.2 and 7.3. It is goal-oriented exploration, not identity or situational exploration. What you are listening for. Do the questions move the client somewhere new, or do they recycle ground the client already knows? At PCC, every question should produce some movement. Marker 7.5 is the second coaching mindset proxy in C7 and one of the defining PCC level markers. The coach shares observations, intuitions, comments, thoughts, or feelings, and shares them without attachment, and invites the client's exploration through verbal or tonal invitation. The phrase "with no attachment" is doing the work. A coach who shares an observation and then defends it when the client does not engage with it is not demonstrating 7.5. The coach offers and releases. Marker 7.6 is the question hygiene marker: clear, direct, primarily open-ended, one at a time, paced for thinking or reflection. Compound questions, leading questions, embedded suggestions, and stacked questions all fail 7.6. The phrase "one at a time" is concrete. 2 questions in one breath fails the marker, even if both questions are good. Marker 7.7, language that is generally clear and concise. Long preambles, jargon, and qualifying clauses that bury the question all weaken 7.7. Marker 7.8, the coach allows the client to do most of the talking. If you find yourself needing to scan the transcript to confirm who is talking more, the coach is probably failing 7.8, the shift you are listening for. At ACC, the coach asks effective questions. At PCC, the questioning serves the client's discovery without subordinating to it. A partnership, not service. Competency 8 facilitates client growth. 9 markers, the heaviest expansion. Marker 8.1, the coach invites or allows the client to explore progress toward what they wanted to accomplish. Not the coach's summary of progress, the client's exploration of it. The verb pair invites or allows is permissive, not directive. Markers 8.2 and 8.3 reproduce the who and what pair at the learning level. 8.2, the coach invites the client to state or explore the client's learning about themselves. 8.3, learning about their situation, both required. A coach who closes a session by asking only "what did you learn about the situation" is missing. 8.2, marker 8.4, the coach invites the client to consider how they will use new learning. The bridge from learning to application. Marker 8.5. The coach partners with the client to design post-session thinking, reflection, or action. The verb design is collaborative, not the coach prescribing. The pattern. PCC C8 is partnership-driven design across multiple dimensions. ACC's C8 was about identifying next steps. PCC's C8 is about co-creating a path, learning, design, reflection, action, all explored with the client. Marker 8.6, the coach partners with the client to consider how to move forward, including resources, support, or potential barriers. 3 sub-elements named explicitly. Marker 8.7 is the design of accountability. By the client, for the client. The coach does not assign accountability. The phrase "the best methods of accountability for themselves" is precise. The client designs how they hold themselves accountable. The coach partners. Marker 8.8. The coach celebrates the client's progress and learning. Genuine acknowledgement, not performative. A throwaway "nice work" line at the end of a session does not meet 8.8. Marker 8.9. The coach partners with the client on how they want to complete the session. This is not a wrap-up. It is a co-created closing. The client articulates what they are taking with them. The coach lands with them. Abrupt endings, time-driven closings where the coach announces "we are out of time," or sessions that trail off all signal an incomplete 8.9. 8.9 is one of the most commonly missed markers in the entire framework. As a mentor coach, listen specifically for the closing minute and a half. That is where 8.9 lives or dies. 4 of the 11 coaching mindset proxy markers live in this territory. 6.1 and 6.5 in listens actively, 7.1 and 7.5 in evokes awareness. Notice C8 carries no proxy markers. C2 evidence concentrates in the partnership behaviors of C4, C5, C6, and C7, not in the design behaviors of C8. Practical implication: a session where C8 is strong but C5 and C6 are thin probably fails C2 even if it produces clean session design. The mindset shows up in how the coach listens and questions, not in how they help the client design accountability. 24 markers in C6 through C8, 7, 8, and 9 respectively. 37 PCC markers total. 13 in C3 through C5, 24 here. You now have the full marker map. Before your first PCC recording analysis, walk through the literal marker text in your competency review form, 3.1 through 8.9. Know what you are listening for before you press play. The next video calibrates your evaluation pattern, consistent versus inconsistent PCC behaviors, and where the most common transition mistakes from ACC to PCC live